Hello to all of you lovely people of faith out there. Thank you for joining us for our next video. We realize it's been a while since we've made our last one, but like we stated in previous posts and videos, we wait until we feel God is directing us on what should be posted here. So that's sometimes the reason for the long in-between waiting times here. So we unfortunately don't have a better thing for you guys to watch here while we're talking, so unfortunately you guys have to deal with seeing the top of my table. The beautiful tree we normally try to aim at so you actually have somewhat of a good view is inaccessible at the moment, so this is the best we can do. But like we always say, our message is more important than what you're seeing with your eyes, so your ears are more important for this. Anyway, today's video is going to be kind of brief because, like I just said, we don't really have anything written down or prepared. We just felt this was a very important thing to discuss. So this video today is just us going over who this community is for, what this community is about, who's welcome here, who's not, things like that. And also kind of just the basics on what our overall beliefs are, what we post here and why, and things like that. So this actually became an idea for us to do after we posted about the LGBTQ plus Pride Month, which is this month, and we got some pretty negative feedback initially, and then which we pretty much expected. We really did. And then, of course, we got some pretty wonderful things, too. So we just kind of want to touch on a little bit all this so that people have a very clear understanding of what goes on here. We thought we did the clarifying thing before, but apparently it wasn't clear enough. So we wanted to, I guess, in the politest, most respectful and faith-filled way we can do it, we wanted to clarify even more. First of all, as Christians and people of faith, we believe that we're supposed to love one another. The number one greatest commandment that Jesus, the Son, gave us was to love one another as He has loved us. So above judgment, above Bible verses, above everything else, it is love. Our main page rule is love. That is our main rule, love. So, and that does not discriminate. You can't say, you know, okay, we love you as long as you fit into this mold we have designed for you or created for you. That's not how our beliefs work on this page. And this is not for anyone who believes opposite of anything that we are discussing that we believe in. We're not judging you or anything either. We just wanted to, for our own selves, speaking for ourselves, we wanted to clarify what we believe. So that there's no more mistakes, no more hate comments, which the fact that I even have to say no more hate comments really just baffles us because the word Christian and hate aren't supposed to go together. That's really messed up. So we just kind of want to touch on that. So basically the post that kind of gave us the inspiration to do this again was we had posted, and it's still there, we didn't take it down, we don't intend to, something to do with, I'm trying to remember how we worded it, I think we said Happy Pride Month or something to all the Christian faith people in the LGBT community. We got several comments that, that famous word, abomination. We saw that on a couple of them, and I'm like, oh, that's nothing new. But the fact of the matter is whether you agree with, believe in, or accept the LGBT plus community or not, and that wasn't meant disrespectfully, I just can never remember every single letter that goes with it. That's, like I said, no offense, just I do my best. But the thing is even if you don't believe in, accept, tolerate any of that, the fact of the matter is it's not your place to judge anyway. It's not our place to judge. So the fact of the matter is we welcome the LGBTQ plus. This is really bad of me, I'm sorry. We welcome all people in that community to our page. One of the reasons is because, like we just said, we don't believe in judging. That's God's job. If we all of a sudden started, ooh, sorry, finger got in the way. If we started judging, then guess what? We're playing God, and we are so far from being worthy enough to be in his shoes, so to speak, that that's not our place. We don't get to decide as flawed human beings who's deserving and worthy of love, God's forgiveness, God's mercy, nothing like that. Because guess what? We're really not deserving or worthy of any of it either. So, we kind of try to remember to get ourselves off our high horses and bring ourselves back down to being flawed human beings like we are. And remember, just because someone so-called sins differently than you do, doesn't mean you're any better or worse than them. And as far as we know, in God's eyes, we're all equal. Our sins are all equal. So that's, a lot of comments were coming in about, like I said, that famous word we've all heard before. They're an abomination, they're an abomination. We don't believe that. We don't believe any of you in the, I'm just going to say gay community because it makes it easier for the purpose of this video, but when I say gay community, I'm recognizing everyone in it, whether you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered, the whole 9 yards. It's just easier for this video to say it quicker because we're trying to make a quick video here. But we recognize everyone in the gay community as part of God's kingdom, his child. We love you. We accept you, and accepting doesn't mean for all of us we accept your lifestyle. I can't speak for everyone that's to do with this page, but what I'm trying to get across is you're not being judged here. This is a safe zone. Anyone that is trying to not make it a safe zone will be politely asked to keep those negative comments to themselves or will be kindly removed. And we don't want to do that because we want to keep this page open to everyone and accessible to everyone, but being a Christian doesn't mean you can hate. That's just not how it goes. If you're using Christianity so that you could say, God, according to God's law, or in the name of God, you're doing wrong. No, that's not what this is about. We're not religious, what do you call that? Oh, we're not religious extremists. That's it. I was thinking radicalists, and I'm like, that's not the word. We're not religious extremists here. We're just people trying to go every day of our lives doing the best we can, and we felt very blessed and fortunate in our lives by what God has provided us with, and in turn we wanted to sort of pay it forward, I guess, share some of our experiences, our faith with everyone else. That this is pretty much what this is about. So and another person commented something about, and I don't know, I can't remember the exact words, but it was more or less something to do with we do realize that we're taking the name of a movie, which is some other religion that did it, or something like that. Well, whatever the details of the comment were, all we want to say is we did not take the name of the movie. We took the name of the movement behind what the movie did. The movie was God's Not Dead, and we just basically felt that because of that movie, it got a lot of people talking who otherwise maybe wouldn't have about faith, their own religious journey, and so many things like that. So we wanted to, pretty much it was in prayer. God just guided and said, this is the name I want you to give it. That's how we believe it happened. We didn't come up with it. We were praying very hard, asking, we want to make a page to honor you. Guide us, and this is what happened. It just so happened that that movie came out around the same time as we started feeling like we wanted to do this. And the fact is I actually think God used it in a very good way, because at the time, God's Not Dead was a huge thing. I mean, everyone in the Christian community was talking about that movie, what they felt about it, and so on and so forth. And I mean, come on. Most people in that time, they were searching those words, God's not dead. So I think God used that moment as a way to say, okay, you've been praying and asking for a way to honor me. Here you go. Take advantage and do this, because people are going to be typing in this. So, your page will come up and people will actually get a chance. It'll be seen, you know. So that's the only reason why that came to be, because we felt God directing us to use that name. But we didn't name our page after the movie directly. We used the movement that we used the movement that the movie created and used our page name for that. So anyway, we wanted to just explain that. We weren't trying to copy anybody or steal any names or titles or anything like that. We actually were trying to do something good. You know, a lot of times people will name their children after an aunt or an uncle or a sister or brother they were very close to. It's a way to honor that person and say, you matter enough to me that I want your name to live on. You know, even when you're long gone, your name will live on in my children. It's kind of the same thing. We wanted to honor the fact that the people of that movie apparently wanted God's name to be known in the world and out there, and so we just sort of took inspiration from that. So, but getting a little off topic there, sorry. Bringing it back to the original purpose of this video is the fact that we wanted to make it very clear who is welcome here and who isn't. Who is welcome here? People of all colors. I don't care whether, or I say I because I'm the one making the video, but we don't care whether you're Caucasian, I'm going to say black because I'm not entirely sure. I've heard some people say they prefer African American or just say black, so I'm just going to say the last thing I heard was say black. So whether you're white, black, Asian, Spanish, Latino, Mexican, any of that, I don't care what color, what nationality you come from, you're welcome here. And we don't care whether you're identify as Christian or you're any other religion who's interested in the Christian faith. I mean, it doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter. As long as you come in with a peaceful attitude, an attitude of love, acceptance, open-mindedness, open heart, you're welcome. So, I keep saying I, sorry. We, whatever, the page, anyone who is coming with a Christ-minded thinking and with a Christ-like heart, you're welcome here. So you're not going to be judged, you're not going to be told you're not welcome just because you might think differently, look differently, talk differently, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're welcome here. And we try very hard. You know, we don't always get a chance to check the page every single day. We have to admit that. Sometimes God calls us to do other things in other places. But as often as we can, we check in and we try our very best. If there is a hateful comment or just an uncomfortable comment because it almost sounds borderline like it might not be too nice, we try to get it removed right away. If anyone becomes abusive on there, like, you know, every time we delete a comment, they again put another one, then we just very kindly and respectfully remove them. We try not to do that because every time we do it, we always try to think that, you know, God and Jesus said, come as you are. You know, come as you are, you know, and sinner come home, all those different things we've heard before. So we very much try not to banish anybody out of the community if at all possible. But we also understand that, you know, the biggest thing is evil is going to look for good things to destroy. That's the whole point of Satan. Satan is among us in all different forms, and you know, whenever Satan has a chance or an opportunity where there's a little weak spot somewhere, he tries to, you know, kind of get in there and do some damage. So, and we recognize that and know that. So we just try to root out, you know, if there's somebody that just honestly has a difference of opinion, then we try to just politely say, you know, these negative comments aren't welcome here. Please tone it down. You know, and usually with those kind of things, eventually it does kind of correct itself, you know, without much more we need to do. But every once in a while, we do have to, very rarely, thank God, very rarely we've had to do it. I think only once or twice it's been like just really abusive nastiness, and we figure this isn't somebody that's even really Christian. It's somebody who found the page and figures, this is a way they can plant their seed of hate and let it grow and grow, and we just kind of crush those seeds. We don't want them here. So that's basically what this video was intended to be today. And I'm sorry that this is bouncing all over. I'm kind of leaning here. But we just wanted to do this video quick today, just so everyone can get a better, more clear idea of where we're coming from, what we believe, what we feel, and everything. So, and here's a little tip I've learned, and I'm speaking for me right now. A tip I've learned being on Facebook, Twitter, all these different social media outlets, which I think are an excellent gift from God. I mean, before that, I'm sure most people, I know for myself, I have been able to interact with people from all over the world. Beautiful, wonderful people that I otherwise, if the social media things hadn't existed, I would have never even known these people existed. And I'm so grateful. God knows it. Thank you, God. But one of the tips I've learned right away, or things that I want to offer you, when you're dealing with a mixed amount of people, even if everyone is mutually agreeing that they believe one thing the same, like they believe the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, or, you're in a group that it's a fan group because you all like a certain actor, or whatever the case is, even if you have one single common thing, one thing in common, just because of that one common thing doesn't mean that you believe the same things about that common thing, and so I've come to realize you can have a bunch of different opinions in there, and the best thing to do is, look at the overall situation. Like, for example, I'll use what we just posted. We posted about Pride Month. If everything else on the page is something you agree with and you don't like that one thing, my feeling is, you have to take the good with the bad. And I'm not saying Pride Month is bad, but in the minds and eyes of people that don't agree with that particular thing, for them it is a bad thing. So my feeling is, when I go through like my news feed and different things, if once in a while I see a friend of mine post something that I personally don't agree with or don't care for, my thing is just keep scrolling. Don't even acknowledge it. Pretend you didn't even see it and keep going. Because my feeling is, do I want to lose that friend over one or two things that they might post that I don't agree with, and lose all the things that they've posted that I've loved? So, you're not going to agree on every single thing. Think about it. Think really hard about all the people in your life that you really care about. Can you honestly say that you agree with every single thought and opinion that has ever come out of the mouths of those people you love? Or do sometimes you think, I love them, but what they just said I really don't like, I'm against that completely? Well, do you just dump them and not have anything to do with them because of that one or two things? Of course not. Most people don't anyway. Most people are like, if it's repetitive and I constantly see this one thing come up and it's like they just seem to be focused on this, then yeah, I'm going to distance myself because I don't want to be put in that category because of association. So I get that, but that's just my tip to anyone that, is part of this community. If you ever want, most of the time, it seems like people are just friendly and it's a light and nice environment on here, but my feeling is we want to keep it that way. So if there's ever a time that you just see like a random thing, I don't think any of us post anything repetitive on the page. I think, we try to keep it, one post about a certain subject matter, different things. So my feeling is just, if you're not liking something and it's like one random thing or a couple random things, just keep scrolling. Don't even feel like you got to comment on it, like it, or anything. Ignore it. I'm sure plenty of people that are part of this community do that. I'm sure not everyone likes everything we post about here or everything we talk or discuss about, but, that's a tip from me personally. That's what I try to do. A couple of people on my friends list I had to, kindly unfriend because I realized after a while of being friends with them, it was like, okay, they seem like this is something they really feel strongly about, and I really feel strongly against it, and they sort of make this particular thing kind of their whole life, so apparently we're not as compatible as friends as I thought we were. And then I'm like, God bless. I hope you have a good life and God be with you. I always try to send them off in a positive light, but sometimes that's what you got to do. So anyway, I kind of got rambly there a bit. I'm very sorry about that, but I just thought it was a good tip. Instead of having, online arguments and fights and problems, just if you see it, like I grew up hearing, if you have nothing nice to say about somebody or something, it's best to say nothing at all. So that's just a tip from me. But just like I said, in closing, this is just a quick, well, not so much quick, a 20-minute video at this point, just letting you know, where we're at and where we're coming from and stuff. So like I said, on behalf of the page, everyone here is welcome. We try not to, distance ourselves from anybody. We try to keep the page open and accessible to everybody, but we do recognize that sometimes it has to be done. So, guys, just on the whole, let's just try to be good and nice to everybody. If you're claiming or identifying as a Christian, really try to stop and think. I think a lot of people use Christianity, whether they're even aware of it, consciously aware of it or not. I think it's a lot of times, they use Christianity to try to force their own thoughts and opinions about it at people, and you can't do that. I mean, you can share your thoughts and opinions, sure, but I mean, to go online and get on a rampage saying, quoting Bible quotes and, in Ezekiel this and Jeremiah that and whatever, I'm like, and I'm just making up names. I know that's, I'm not trying to be literal about the names, so I know the different Bible things. I was just using those names as examples. But, and the other thing is, and speaking of the Bible, the last thing I will say is, in regards to the Bible and our page, in the beginning we actually were using quotes from the Bible, and then, like one of our recent posts stated, we discovered that through an accident, actually. We were watching a video, and then a YouTube video, and then we started researching it ourselves. But we have discovered that the Bible, as we know it today, in the many different versions, you've got like Protestant Bible, Catholic Bible, all the different ones. Originally, the Bible was, its origin was Catholic. That's how I was trying to say it. The origin of the Bible, what we have researched, is Catholic. So once we realized that, we actually try to not bring up the Bible or use any Bible references or passages from the Bible. And it's not because we don't think the Bible is good. It's just we are a non-denominational community. Or let me say that right. We're a non-denominational Christian/faith community. So being non-denominational, we don't want to promote any single religion. And yes, like we already stated, our name is inspired by what apparently is a Protestant movie, but again, we didn't name ourselves after the movie. We named ourselves after the movement that the movie created. So that's how we look at it. So, and guys, if any of you have any questions, that I haven't touched on or answered, please write them in the comments, below of the post that this is in. Write the comments down, and we will do our best to make another movie, I keep saying that wrong, sorry, another video, try to answer your questions. And it doesn't even have to be just about anything about this video. I mean, if you have any questions about the community, or, what you're allowed to post, anything, any questions you have at all, just, this is the perfect time to do it. Write them down, as a comment below this video, and I can't promise when the video will be made. Like I said, it's whenever God gives us the feeling of, okay, now. But we will do our best to try to find some time to put a video together, answer some of your questions. If something isn't clear to us, like you ask us a question, we don't quite understand it, we'll include it in the video and say, and we won't name anybody. We'll just say because obviously if you're asking the question and we refer to the question or mention it, you want to know it's your own question. So we'll just, if we're not confused about something you're asking us, we'll ask it back. One of you asked this, this, and this. We are a little unclear on this, so please better explain, and then we'll do our best to answer it. So anyway, we hope you have a great Sunday. In our time, it's going to be afternoon soon, but where people around the world, just have a great Sunday or Monday if you're already in Monday. So God bless, thank you, and try to spread some kindness. The world could sure use some more of it. Bye.